Hello and welcome back, and as you can see I've got the fire pit going. We've had rain for a good few days now, everything is saturated, and I've got a tree that was damaged by the wind and I've had to take care of it, so I'm just burning at odds and sods of garden rubbish now. But I'm going to go out for a hike. I've had a pretty busy morning and yeah, the weather's not going to work or cooperate with me, but I feel the need to get out, so we'll start hitting the trail. I'm all packed up and I'm ready to go out, but I'm just finishing up in the workshop because, as you can see, I've got two hiking sticks which are parts constructed or crafted for customers. I've still got the wood burning and I've got the finishing on them to do, but they're shaped, they have their copper tips and they've been straightened, so you know, I'm halfway through constructing them, so I don't have a free license just to come and go as I want, because this is pretty much how I earn my small living as a crafter. And I had to finish two more for customers, which I do have inside at the moment. Well, I'm leaving my village and I'm on the trail, and it's extremely windy and there's bouts of showers and rain, and it's coming down pretty much sideways when it does. So I've got to basically head up over a hill, and this hill is pretty exposed before I drop down into a valley. Well, blackberry season is well and truly underway, and down here in my neck of the woods, because it's been so damp and mild, they usually come out slightly before a lot of other places in the UK, but unfortunately the wet weather is now turning them kind of like a mouldy, and they're going past their best, a lot of them. So we don't have many more weeks before these blackberries will be gone or left to the wildlife. Well, I'm almost at my location where I'm going to set up a basic camp, and that's going to be just to provide me from shelter from the rain. As simple as that, because we're having a lot of wind and showers sweeping in off the Atlantic and through Cornwall. But it hasn't been a wasted journey in any case, because I've scouted out and found a few trees that already have berries which have sloes on them, and I'm actually going to come down and harvest those to make my own varieties of sloe gin. Now, I do have a video on that, so you're able to see how I go about it. But yeah, I can already say that, that this trip has been productive for me. And there you go, they're ready to pick actually, so I don't really have a lot of time to mess about. I need to get those harvested. And that is the mother lode there. There's a few other trees as well like it. But as for elderberries, that actual tree is actually bending the branches with the amount of berries on them, and they're black, they're ready to go. Unfortunately this year I won't be harvesting elderberries, but next year I plan to utilise some of them. Yeah, you can tell things are on the turn. Like the last few occasions I've been out, there are leaves starting to come down. It's not fully turned, but it is on the turn. And bracken is a good indication. Soon as it starts to brown off, you know you're pretty much well heading towards the autumn and winter period. But as you can see, I just have bracken there now starting to go brown. So, you know, that is the indication, and from here everything else will follow. So yeah, I'm nearly at my location. Like I said, I'm going to scamper in there, get my tarp set up, and then we'll go from there. As I walk down here, it's usually full of these pinks and purple colours, and there's the odd flower still left. Odd flower. But the rest of it's gone. This fireweed is usually a sea of colour, and I've just spotted another sloe tree in behind all this fireweed. If you can see the berries there, there's no shortage this year of sloes. Some years they don't seem to be as prevalent as others, and I'm not sure if that's because the plants have a period where they don't produce. A lot of plants will do that. They'll produce heavy one year and possibly not for a couple years afterwards, and it's kind of like a cycle. But I'm no expert, but that seems to be how it is in my neck of the woods with sloes anyway. And it's as quick as that. You head down the track and next thing you're surrounded by trees. And it's for me now to pick my location I want to utilise. So basically I've just thrown a tarp up using bungee straps, and on top of that it's in a sloping configuration at an angle. I'm not going to get wet. I have protection from rain, and like I said, I've descended so I don't have to worry about sideways rain. I have a big enough area I can work in, as in cook my food and you know, get a brew on. So you know, it's quite comfortable for that means. I've got my hiking stick holding part of the shelter up, which I'll show you, or pushing it up to give a bit more room, and it's quite adequate. And I'm testing this tarp out. I've used it in the garden with the kids for them to play around and make camps and dens from, but it came with a kit that we bought for the kids. Basically it's a kids tarp. So I'm going to see how, or I'm testing to see how waterproof it is, because I have a further video where I want to go and test out that kit as an adult here in the woods for real. But that's another video. But I've just got it out, like I said, today, and I'm testing to see what the actual waterproof qualities of it are. So there's my very basic setup for a drink and something to eat. Again, I'm using gas because I'm in the wood. It has rained, but I would like to see another week possibly of good solid rain before I felt comfortable with a twig stove. But then again, you know, till everything is totally saturated, I'll probably stay with gas. But taking you around, there you go. Every good squaddie's portable seat system, a day sack which you can sit on. Like I said, there's my cooking stuff, my hiking stick with my coach, let's say, there, staying dry off the ground. But you can see that this tarp has just been thrown up at a steep enough angle to shed rain, and it's just been basically hashed up. It's not a beautiful work of art. This is functional and for only one purpose, to keep me dry. I would not sleep in anything like this. I'd want something a bit better. But this allows me to work in this particular area I'm at. So as I said, it doesn't look pretty, and but it's extremely functional. I've already had a little shower and it just shed water straight off. I'm not even sure if that's a fair test of a tarp, because if it's just hitting it and running straight off instantly, it's not getting a chance to actually stay on it and see if it actually gets into the actual material itself. But yeah, we'll have to see on that one. I'm possibly expecting another shower. They seem pretty regular, every 15 to 20 minutes. But yeah, that's what I'm working with at the moment. Well, I'm going to get a brew on, I'm going to get something to eat, and then I'm going to set up a few tin cans, and with an old school kids catapult, I'm just going to shoot a few tin cans and have a bit of target practice and a bit of fun. But yeah, first thing, a cup of tea. Yeah, so if you're wondering what I'm eating, it's very cheap, just sausage and beans. And it's been a camp or an outdoor staple for loads of people, and it's a cheap one. And yeah, it hits the mark. You can use anything really can wise. Go into a supermarket and pick up something cheap, which you can then ravioli, mac and cheese. The list is endless what you can get in a can. Obviously there's the downside, it's a can, and obviously it's heavy and bulky. But if you're just doing something like what I'm just doing here, this just hits the mark, and it does the job, fills you up and allows you to have something to eat out in the woods for literally just a pound. You can pick up a can of good quality, food which you can heat up, and it's all I've ever done. Well, yesterday the Queen passed, and I have to sort of like mention it. The country's feeling a sense of loss, grief, and on a personal note, it was a absolute honour and privilege to serve under her in the armed forces, and yeah, so I do have a personal sense of loss at the moment. And indeed that will be the case for people over all walks of life. And yeah, my thoughts go out to the family. And yes, it's sad times for the country, but as a country we will pull together and get through this, and we'll come out the other side. But yeah, it's just one of those things that everybody will experience in their lifetime, personal loss. But with the Queen, it just feels like something kind of different. It feels remote, but you still feel it, because it was like that grandmother that you hardly ever saw, but you knew she was there, and you'd see the odd picture or just see her occasionally, and it just felt reassuring. So yeah, yeah, sad times, and we've got to work towards the future now as a country. Right, I've got a can about 10 metres just up the embankment. I've came down to set the camp up, and yeah, basically it's an old school strike 9 catapult. I've used it for years. My kids play around with it, and we bash a few cans around the garden. And I've got a can just up, like I said, 10 metres, and I'm going to fire a few ball bearings into it and knock it around a little bit, just for a little bit of fun. And yeah, I do wear glasses for this because, quite simply, I'm old. And did you hear that? That was a resounding smack. And that is satisfying. It's good fun just to play with it. But let's go do another one. I'll show you in a minute. I'll put the camera up there, but at the minute, just getting my eye in, literally. Again, and I go again. Oh, bit high on that one. I'm not going to leave that. I like 3 in a row. Well, not exactly, this won't be 3 in a row, but, and I'm going above now. That's my accuracy shot. Right, let's readjust it. Let's get a bit lower. Yeah, hit it again. Well, that was very pleasant. A nice little hike, some nice stunning woodlands to walk around and have a look at nature in its all its autumn glory. I found some berries that I'm going to harvest, and then I had a bit of coffee and some food, which was nice to sit and contemplate life. And then a little bit of fun shooting a tin can with a catapult. And you know, that's a nice way to round it off, and I'm going to start hiking back out of here now. And yeah, let's crack on and get this done. Yeah, this is Andy, and I'm going to wrap this video and vlog up as I head off home. And I'm just going to say just a few little notes, and that is basically always get permission on the land that you plan to use a catapult. Always shoot safely and always within your capabilities, and obviously all other safety advice and implications that would be given to you using such a item. Now, I hope you enjoyed that, and I certainly did. And as I head off home, you know, I hope to see you again some other time on the trails. So take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you again. Andy.